So let's continue this Sequoia National Park drawing. Really nice. It reminds me of holidays, of very happy, joyful, beautiful days in nature. Horizon Blue by Irojiten. That name is so well chosen because I think this color would do great as an horizon color when there's a blue sky. Today, at this moment, no blue skies here in the Netherlands. Well, elsewhere in the Netherlands, but not here. On second thought, I think it's better to use a completely different color. So, because I don't think you see blue sky over here. Teal blue. This is a dark bluish green. Now we are having a lot of thunderstorms here. We have hot weather, but once in a while a thunderstorm passes by. And that's what's happening right now. So maybe you can hear it in the background. A rumbling noise. I'll try to make a transition between a dark background of the forest and a blue sky, so I'll just go and do some experimenting. The coloring craze has struck me again. You know, sometimes there's just no time for a lot of coloring, but on some days there is a little bit of time, and I have to say now I'm really enjoying it. And I also think that has everything to do with the watercolor along project, that finally I'm finding my way with it. My initial plan didn't work out, and it took me more than a year to figure out what was just in front of my eyes, I think, but I just didn't know. And that is that I had to change the watercolor along project a little bit. I had to change it because and here I have sepia, Prismacolor. I don't think you can hear it, but once in a while you can hear a very dark rumble in the distance here. of that thunderstorm. Anyway, for some reason I had decided that the watercolor along should be done with watercolor paint. Sounds logical. I like watercolor paint. But then very soon a problem occurred. It didn't work out. It worked out for a couple of paintings, but not for all. And there are 12 in this set. And then after I ruined painting number whatever, I went out for a walk to clear my head. Here I have Midnight Blue, Irojiten. I went out, had a walk to clear my mind. That was in Germany a couple of weeks ago. And then it popped in my mind, pencils, girl, pencils. How about Inktense? But I didn't have my Inktense pencils with me while I was in Germany recording watercolor along and messing up. So I couldn't wait to go home and try. So I picked up Inktense and it worked. Thank the Lord. Then it started all dawning on me. You know, maybe water-soluble pencils is a more logical choice for this particular project than watercolor paint, because the drawings, they were designed for pencils, colored pencils, and now I wanted to release a version for painting. And you know, the channel's name is Passion for Pencils, so why not just follow the logic of Passion for Pencils and go for water-soluble pencils. So I'm working on 2 paintings with Inktense pencils, and I feel very happy about it. It's working. So I asked my sister if I can borrow her watercolor pencil set. She has a gorgeous pencil set, Carandache, Supracolor Soft. Watercolor pencils, very good quality. I don't have watercolor pencils. So she was so kind to lend them to me. This looks much better. This looks good. Yeah, let's go over here. So I learned my lesson. Stay true. Let's go back to sepia. That doesn't mean that I should never use watercolor paint again. I love watercolor painting, but for this particular project, with these drawings, it turned out that some drawings work better if I use a slightly different medium. Now, it doesn't mean that people who want to join me in a couple of months with watercolor paint, that they can't paint, they can't join in. They can. They absolutely can. But for me to get the right results, I needed to change the concept So now it's more like exploring water-soluble pencils. Let's go back to this one, Midnight Blue. The other dark blue that I'm using is Indigo, I forgot to tell you. This Midnight Blue has a little bit of trouble layering on top of the sepia Prismacolor that I just added, but it seems to work now. I don't know what happened, but I think you had a very strange view. Something with the light condition in the camera. I'm sorry about that, but this is what it looks like right now. Yes, yes. Well, that looks like a thunderstorm approaching too. And I like it. So I'm going back to Indigo. I thought the thunderstorm was gone, but it looks like there's another one coming. It's moving fast. So, and here we have a Midnight Blue again. I think over here I want to make it a little darker. black. This here is a very, very dark forest. My husband and I, we visited Sequoia National Park twice. And the second time we ran into a bear, black bear. You know, in a lot of places in the park you have these large fences. And we and a couple of other tourists, we were just gazing at the huge trees. And then suddenly, back in the distance, a black bear came by. He was clearly searching for food, and he did notice us and the other people, and he put his nose in the air, you know, like sniffing, and I'm sure he knew that we had all good stuff in our backpacks. But he had ear tags, and as far as I know, that means that the bear has been captured because it had made trouble, I think. So maybe this bear knew, don't come close to the people. And by the way, there we were with quite a large group there standing, so that bear knew it's better to go search for bugs and well, whatever bears like to eat. And it was very just quietly looking for food, and well, that wasn't scary at all, I have to say. That doesn't mean this is midnight blue again, that all bear encounters were not scary. One time in Yosemite National Park we had a bear moving towards our RV because I was cooking soup, and he was clearly in the mood for soup. Midnight blue again, but fortunately it was easy to chase him off, and an American tourist, he quietly said, "Get out of there, bear." Well, I was astonished, but and we started to make a lot of noise with pots and and pans, and just make noise, and then it moved away. So, and then we had another encounter in Canada that was quite, I think it was potentially dangerous. There were a lot of people standing at the road. I think it was Banff National Park. Let's go see. I want a touch of green there. How about this one? Teal blue. There were a lot of people standing alongside the road, and then, you know, in a national park when people are coming out of their vehicles and all staring in the same direction, then there is something there. So we stepped out of our RV and we saw this bear, black bear with 2 cubs. But people started to approaching the bears quite closely. So close that Mama Bear ordered her cubs to climb up into a tree. And that was a sign for my husband and I that this bear was preparing to do anything to protect her cubs. So I went back to the RV to get the bear spray, you know, you never know. And then we watched it for a while on a distance, and then we decided to move away and leave that mama bear alone. I have a picture somewhere of Mama Bear right before she orders her cubs to climb that tree. Back then we were traveling with an, how do you say that in English? SLR camera? You know, a real camera with large lenses, so we could take pictures from a distance. Indigo. And then we also had we saw a bear with 2 cubs in Yellowstone National Park, and that bear was a grizzly bear. So no way we would come close to that bear. No way. Oh, this is it a tree or what is it? I think this is a tree. Well, whatever. Let's take a look from afar. Well, that looks nice. That looks really very nice. It's getting darker and darker again outside, and it looks like the wind shifted. That's not good. But very interesting. There was a time that I wanted, when I was 12, 13 years old, I wanted to become a meteorologist. So I went out checking the what it took to study meteorology, and I soon was cured from that idea, because actually what I want to do is stare at the clouds and let my gut feeling tell me what the weather is going to be. That is not meteorology. I don't know what that is, but this is a nice one. Prismacolor True Green. So So I abandoned that idea of becoming a meteorologist quite soon, but I'm still fascinated by the weather, and actually the wind has shifted. That's interesting. That is very interesting. There's rain coming now. It would be nice if this storm would just give one lightning and one thunder, just for you, just to say hello. Hummingbird. Peacock green, Prismacolor. Yeah, it's going very dark now. But the camera is holding up, so as long as the camera is holding up, I will continue coloring. Why not? There are a couple of lines here that I don't really understand. I think these are lines, I don't know, so I'm just doing my own thing. Olive green. Celeste blue. The plan was to go out right now, to be out doing my groceries. But clearly that's not going to happen. I'll wait until these clouds are gone. I really like this, guys. Let's take a look at that American flag. The Star-Spangled Banner. Maybe I should do this with a little bit of a different approach, because Maybe I should make this completely blue and then add white dots with a little bit of paint or something like that. I think that works better than carving out all those tiny little blue stars, white stars. Here I have cerulean blue. I'm just going to do that. And here I have cherry red. National flags, if you research them, then they have very well described which colors to use and stuff like that. Well, I didn't check that for the Star-Spangled Banner, so I'm just using blues and reds that I just like. But I'm quite sure that somewhere there is a description that the Star-Spangled Banner, the blue should be whatever, ultramarine, cobalt, and that the red should be crimson, cadmium, whatever. At least that is the case with the Dutch flag. We have red, white and blue as well. It seems to be a popular color combination for national flags. And maybe I can imagine that the choice for red in a flag is because its visibility is very good, also from a distance. So I can imagine that you want red in your flag when it is in top, on the rooftop of your beautiful castle. Let's add a touch of orange, tangerine orange, just a touch. And I must say, with these higher temperatures, it is quite hot in the Netherlands. These Irojitens, they do just fantastic. So if you live in a hot area and you find your current pencils too soft, try a harder lead, like Irojiten, for example. Very interesting. I became very curious about the exact colors for the national flag of the US. So I looked it up for you, and the red should be a red that I call Old Glory Red. I have no pencil that is called Old Glory Red. I didn't go searching to what pigments there are in Old Glory Red, but it looked like the red is not very, it's quite dark. And the same goes for the blue, because the blue is called Old Glory Blue. So I will see if I can make this look a little bit darker here. Crimson Lake. And the Old Glory blue is quite dark too, as far as I could figure it out. Of course you have the Star-Spangled Banner, the song, the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Something like that. Best performance ever by Whitney Houston, I think. Let's see if I can make an old blue, old glory blue, ultramarine this is. Now, I am a professional classical singer, but I think the best performance ever was done by Whitney Houston. Indian Throne Blue. I think this, what I have seen from that Old Glory blue, it's more a cool blue. Yeah, this looks more like it. Just like here in the Netherlands, the American text of this national anthem is a poem, and of course I had no idea what the poem was about, but then I figured out that the Star-Spangled Banner is a poem of a battle at sea with a fortress, and then there is a heavy battle at night, and then the people on the ship are afraid that when the morning dawns that the fortress will be destroyed or taken over or whatever. And then when the sun comes up and the mist fades away, they still see this flag on top of the fortress, and then they know they they had withstand the battle well. That must have felt just wonderful for those people. I don't know what the battle was about. Pomegranate. Oh, look, this one needs some sharpening. That looks better. Was it a battle against the English, or was it? I believe it was. Or You know, there was a civil war in the Americas, but I don't know much about that, I have to say. And here in the Netherlands, our national anthem is a poem, also a very strange one, because it mentions Germany, and it mentions Spain, but it is the Dutch anthem. Take a look at those bears. Here is a black pencil. I also looked it up for you, the Dutch national anthem. The text dates back from 1570. 1570, yes. So that is 450 years old. And that is at the time where the Spanish invade large parts of Europe. A war that lasted 80 years until 1568 to 1648, yes. And the text is about the struggle of Willem of Orange, you know, the founder, one of the first leaders of the Netherlands, and later on that family became the royal family, and well, he struggled to both serve the people and work with the Spanish who had invaded the Netherlands. Let's give this bear a touch of black also. And then it is time to stop coloring. Do some other work. Well, this looks nice. Okay, well, see you in the next episode. Bye bye.